Hi, I'm Jason Houtsma, guitar instructor for worshipartistry.com. This week, I taught the song Because He Lives, Amen by Matt Maher, and there's a lot of walking around within the scale. And a number of you guys have asked me about incorporating walk-ups and walk-downs in your playing. It's a lot of these songs that we work with in worship, you're working with 1, 4, 5, 6 chords, and you just kind of want to spice it up a little bit. So to give you an idea, here's what we're going to do. We're going to work with the key of C today. And essentially what we're going to do is we've got our C chord, we're going to go from F and then a G. So rather than playing just going from that C, F, G, and C, instead of doing something like that, you can add these bass walks. So you can go like, now, that was a very kind of country sounding way because I'm throwing a ton of walks. You want to be tasteful with your walks. You don't want to go all over the place. I mean, maybe you do if you want to play country style music. But to go a little more straightforward, you have to be tasteful. So we'll talk about that in a second. But the main idea of working with walk-ups and walk-downs is that you need to know the scale. So if we look at our C scale, we can play it all right in this first position. That's where it's most natural because that's where we're playing our chords, right? So we start on the 3rd fret of our A. That's our root for a C chord. And we can just play. Now we also have access to most of the scale again if we keep walking down. Right? So we're only missing 2 notes because if we start on that E, the E is the 3rd note of the C major scale. So it gives us an opportunity to walk all the way up and then reset. And if we wanted to, we could keep going. But we're not going to do that. We're going to focus just in this first position. Now I've got a tab down below of that scale so you can kind of see visually kind of where all those notes are at. Now, the main chords of our scale, the kind of the most natural resting points are 1, 4, 5, and 6. 2, 3, and 7 are usually more passing notes. Not always, but they're kind of the natural notes to go through when you come through a walk. If you haven't done your language of music lesson in our 101 section, you should do that. And if you are not a worship artist, remember, you just sign up for a free account and go do it, because then you'll have access. But anyway, that's that. Okay, so let's look at our C chord. So if we want to walk from the C chord to an F chord, which is the 4th chord in our scale, the notes we have to work with, like so. It's just a simple walk up. It's working from our 1st note, 2nd, 3rd, and that would take us to our 4th chord. So we get it real natural. Now you don't have to always walk with all the notes in between. You could just go. See that? So you can use either one of those notes. This is the most obvious sounding walk up, but you can use either of those notes to make a transition to that chord. You just have to make sure you land the chord where it's supposed to land. So if you're meaning to change, if the chart shows you changing on the 1 and the 3, for example, of a pattern. So if you're 1, 2, 3, 4, you walk in between that. So you're 1, 2, 3, right? So 1, 2, and 3, 1, 2, and 3. All right, there's different ways to approach it. You can go between those. Going from your F, you could easily walk down to your C by just doing the reverse. Now, it gets a little tricky if you're trying to go from from F to G. The only notes in between those, you could do a chromatic walk where you just kind of throw that one in there. But now we're getting really bluesy country sounding, which once again, if that's what you want to do, totally available to you. But the other thing that you can do is you can start walking down from your 4 and then go to your 5 chord. And so the reason why that works is because there is a D note in a G chord. So if you're walking down, all right, that's the second note of your scale. That's also in your G chord, so it makes a natural place to right. So real natural sounding. If you wanted to, you could kind of use those lower notes or stay up top. And then going from your G, a real natural is to go from your 6, 7, and then back to your 1 there. So if we wanted to walk through the whole scale, we could start with that C, walk down to G, walk up, now same thing applies here with like the A minor, or that G over B. You can get rid of you don't have to do the full walk. You can just play. And this will work for any scale, but I'm just focusing on the C scale right now because it's a real natural place. We'll do some other lessons that kind of focus on doing walkarounds in G, D, and that sort of thing. So, like I said, I've got some tabs down below, and I'm also going to tag some songs that really lend themselves to doing some of those walk-ups and walk-downs, specifically Because He Lives, because I just did that one, so it's a real natural place to do it. So play around, see what works. You know, sometimes it's going to sound great to do a walk-up or a walk-down, and other times it's going to not sound good. So you have to pick your spots, be really tasteful, but that's kind of the basics of it. Enjoy.